Who's there? Welcome to Farming Simulator 19 on Hard Mountains. And the veterinarian just left. Bye. And she checked out the chickens and worked on them, and she said that they should be cured. Cost me $250, so I sure hope they are. Well, I don't know about this. Well, I think that was $250 down the drain. Or maybe more appropriately, I should say, into the toilet. Okay, I'm going to start the work today working on the lime on field 4. And I just want to say that, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the growth back on so that I'll be able to get to fertilizing when I need to, hopefully. And I want to mention too, I had problems with the audio on this recording, so it might sound a bit odd, but I think that together we can get through it. So here we go, I think. Oh, wait a minute, it's empty. Oh, that's good. Well, I guess I will have to go get the truck and bring some line down. I think I've still got line on here. We'll see, won't we? Door popped open on the spreader. It's always a good sign. I hope I can excuse me, I hope I can figure out how to unload this trailer. You know, these trailers seem to work a bit oddly. Now, I wonder why that isn't loading. No, I think that's not line. Oh, that's good. Good job there. Good job. I'm quite a farmer. Oh, this evening, maybe it's just that it's getting late now. I'm getting tired. I'll go back and buy some lime. Hopefully I'll figure out how to leave this seed off. And I know what happened. I must have backed the trailer up somewhere near where the seed pallets were over on the side and picked up a pallet of seed. See, that's where they are over there. I'll see if I can drop this off. I don't know if it'll do it or not. I just cannot figure out the deal with this trailer. I had a little bit of trouble with the bales, but I did finally get them off. Sorry about this. Well, I got the other one on, so I guess, oh dear. Oh well. Now I gotta buy some more. Apparently this is very complex. I never realized that. There we go. Well, hopefully we've got enough line now. I noticed that the veterinarian's truck is there at the shop. Hopefully they'll be able to fix that better for her than she did for my chickens. I guess I may just have to leave things the way they are. With the chickens at least. Not with the line. I will finish the line. If not today, then tomorrow. The workers have done a fairly good job on the other fields, but boy, they sure don't seem to like this field. Of course, it is convoluted and it is big, but I don't understand it. Well, I think I'm going to use the New Holland to seed field 1. I think this is actually a Ford, and don't quote me on this, but I think after Ford bought New Holland, I think they just rebadged this as a New Holland tractor, which of course was their privilege. I wonder if New Holland and Ford are the exact same colors on their tractors. Now, some of their other equipment, at least in other parts of the world, you know, like balers and combines, I think, are, like in this game, yellow. But in the United States, I have seen New Holland combines here that were blue. So, it's the first time I'd seen one. I got so used to the yellow and combines in this game, I was just shocked. And by the way, that combine was huge. And it was in an area that the fields aren't real big. So I just thought it was kind of odd that they would have a combine that big to work in that area. In fact, I think when the economics were really good for farmers in the United States for a few years, I think they bought a lot of really big equipment, because I see a lot of big equipment around. And again, where I live, there are parts of the county that have some big fields. Maybe not a full section, but, you know, quite a few acres. But really, in a lot of the places where I see this equipment, it's just not. Well, I just don't know. I'm not sure that I properly finished that thought, but for the most part around here, except for the part of the county that has, you know, the huge fields, well, there's a couple of parts of the county, but I mean so much of the county, and I see this equipment in places just not in where these big fields are, so I just think it's too big. It's kind of like on my lawn, there are so many flower gardens and so many trees and so many shrubs that I always say I spend more time turning and backing up than I do mowing. And I would say that would be the same with some of that equipment. That would be the same thing. They'd spend more time turning and backing up. And I saw a drill that was actually, I think maybe it was a corn planter, but anyway, it was close to this tiny field, and I bet a lot of the field they could not go across it twice. They would have to go across the field once, and then when they came back, I guess what they would do is shut some of the planters off so that it wouldn't be dropping seed too close together. I always seem to have trouble turning this lime spreader on and off. I don't know if I'm getting a little bounce on my side panel. I tend to get what I call bounce when I connect and disconnect the equipment. It's button number 20, and to turn this on and off is button number 4. Like I say, it's sort of doing the same thing. I'll push it, and then it'll shoot a little bit out, and then it'll stop. There's my sick chickens. Well, I'll be glad to get this field done. You know, I actually prefer letting the workers do a lot of the routine stuff like this. And something like cutting trees and picking up logs that I can't have a worker do. I mean, that's fine doing that. And I do some of this work, like here, but I would just prefer to have a worker do a lot of it. I guess that's... Yeah, the liming is done, pretty well done on field 4. Now I'm going to get fertilizer because this field needs to be fertilized, and it'll be the first time it's been fertilized. Of course, I'll have the same thing happen there. The worker will not be able to master that. So we will see how that goes. But of course, I know that I'll be doing a lot of it myself. There's the doctor's pickup parked there. I didn't quite get over far enough on this field to start the worker. And I want to try to do the whole thing. I don't care if I miss a few little places, but I just want to try to get as much as I can. And I don't know, on field 8 I'll have to see if I'll ever be able to get to the weeding, because it may be in the last stage of growth, or mature is what I guess I need to say. So I don't know if I'll get to that or not, but maybe I'll get the fertilization done, and then I can sell this field, and then I'll have money to buy that field. But I'll have to rebuy field 4 to be able to fertilize it the last time. So it's a real balancing, jumping around game. But once I get this through the first harvest on all of these fields, you know, I think it'll go a lot better. And one thing when I harvest the fields, certainly like the cornfield, I'm not going to want the corn for anything, so unless the price is really low, I'm just going to go ahead and sell it and get some money. Also, at this point, I'm really having trouble deciding, you know, what equipment to buy. Maybe I should lease some, but I really wanted to do it differently on this farm and buy as much equipment as possible and not lease. And maybe I should lease, I don't know. Unfortunately, I have to keep borrowing money, which I hate. Although one thing, the interest is not really too bad in this game. I know a lot of people think it's, that they need to pay off loans as soon as possible, and it does have an effect on, your final income, but it's really not too bad, so I don't get too concerned about it. Of course, I pay the loans off usually as soon as possible. Guess I'm going to use the old New Holland to plant field number 1. And I think I'm going to plant oats because I'm planning on getting as many horses as possible. And I do have oats on field 3 that I will harvest, because I'll buy field 3 again. I'll harvest that. But I just want to be sure to have enough oats, and I think I'm going to have enough wheat and barley for the chickens. And then if I decide to get other livestock, then I can grow whatever crops are required for them. And I might even eventually, I'll have to see how hard it is to keep up with all the, the livestock, the chickens and the horses. But what I might even do is consider sheep, cattle, swine in the future. But we'll just have to see. Yeah, one thing with any equipment like a fertilizer spreader that's actually mounted on the tractor, it can be a little bit tricky to get a complete spread because of course that spreader turns with the tractor, unlike one that's trailed, and it will miss a little bit out on the edge when you do that. And it's like a plow, if you don't have a trailed plow, it'll miss stuff on the edge when you turn. Of course, if I were a better farmer, probably wouldn't do that. I'd get so I could anticipate what's going to happen when I turn the tractor, but I'm just not real good at it. But I'm better than I used to be. Well, I'm going to make some more cropland on Grizzly Mountain to make a little more variety of things. I do have a house there now, so I no longer have to sleep in a tent. Quite happy about that. I was a little bit sorry I wasn't able to get that manor house. I'd like something really big and ostentatious, but I could not get it to could not get it built where I wanted it, and I found a quite a bit smaller and cheaper house, and I have to admit I like the looks of this other house better. That manor house, I just didn't care for the style of it. Well, I really appreciate your watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe below, and I hope you have a blessed day.